Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Jeff the IT Guy. Today we're back with another video. We're following up with the unboxing and the upgrading of the Omen 15 with the 4800H. If you haven't seen those, they're up here. Today we're going to be doing our review of this beautiful machine. Before we get into the review, if you have not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment and all that jazz. The subscribes really help me out. I'm on my way to my goal of 1,000 subscribers by December, and I'm very close, and I would appreciate the help. So let's get into the review. So the Omen 15, this is HP's gaming lineup of laptops. This one here, like I said, features the Ryzen 7 4800H, which is an 8-core, 16-thread part. Has the 1660 Ti. And it comes in a configuration of either 8 gigs of RAM with a 512 gig NVMe SSD or 16 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD drive. Those are the configurations for the Ryzen or the AMD version of this laptop. Okay, as you've seen though, we upgraded it to 32 gigs and then added an extra 1 terabyte NVMe drive because it can hold two NVMe drives. And the max RAM is 32 gig that it can support out of 2 DIMMs. So when it runs at a speed of 22 for the cast latency. So it's 3200 megahertz CL22. Enough about that. Let's talk about the laptop. This laptop is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's got solid construction. It is a polymer, so it's like a plastic. It is black. It is very sleek. It reminds me kind of like a razor blade as far as the blackness of it, I guess, or the kind of the style of it is razor blade-esque in a way, or that's what it reminds me of. It is 1920 by 1080, 15 inches, 144 hertz panel. It does feature a backlit keyboard that is 4-zone RGB, and it's got awesome ports. And so on the right side of the laptop, you will have a USB-C Thunderbolt, a mini display, and 2 USB 3 Type A's. On the left side, you have a power adapter, a low profile RJ45, a USB Type A or USB 3 Type A, an HDMI port, a headphone, microphone port, and then an SD card reader. On the back you have nothing. Bottom you have except for ventilation, and on the back you have ventilation as well. This thing moves a ton, and I mean a ton of air. Let's talk about the performance of this machine. So first test we ran was Geekbench. We want to look at synthetics to see how it does. So in single core it gets a score of 1161, and multi-core it gets a score of 6816. Its max speed throughout the sustained speed was 4.3 gigahertz, and it had a max temp of 89 degrees. In Cinebench R20, it got a 4193. Just so you know, that score is higher than a 1700X. So 8-core, 16-thread part from first gen Ryzen, which was, I think it had 105, 125 watt TDP, maybe 95 in there. And so this actually beats it. It also beats some 6 cores and 8 cores from another brand. And so it's a powerhouse, really. In World of Warcraft, one of the games that we tested, you're going to see 100 FPS while you're doing your questing, 90 in the city. Max temp while playing World of Warcraft was 74 degrees, so that's pretty good. On the CPU, GPU was 58 degrees. And the CPU ran at 4.3 gigahertz. Next test we ran was in Call of Duty. 95 was the lowest I've seen for FPS, 125 was the highest. GPU temp was about 61, CPU was 81, and the speed stayed at about 4.3 gigahertz, so it's hitting that boost. Also played League of Legends. It hit like 185 FPS, and I was actually streaming on it, and so we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, so that's the games that we ran. That's the gaming test, right? So let's talk about doing professional tasks. This thing can handle any professional task that you throw at it. It really can. I did a 21-minute video in DaVinci Resolve on this, and the score was 6 minutes and 35 seconds to export that 1080p video. That was at 21 minutes. And that's with this laptop using both the CPU and GPU. Whenever I rendered the same video on a 6-core 12-thread Intel system with a 5600 XT, so using both CPU and GPU acceleration, it took over 9 minutes and 35 seconds. So that's pretty wild to see the fact that there's a 3-minute difference when rendering out the same video or rendering out the same video on something that is not thermally constrained to something that is thermally constrained. And what I mean by that is the system that had the 6-core Intel and 5600 XT is a desktop that's water-cooled. And so it has a much higher TDP and thermal limits than what this laptop does. However, this laptop smoked them. It smoked the desktop. And that was really awesome to see, just to see how well AMD's Ryzen CPUs are going. All right, so that is the performance of like a professional task load. So if you're into being able to edit videos or render videos, this thing's a powerhouse. It's a beast. Let's talk about streaming. So I streamed League of Legends at a 3000 kbps bitrate to YouTube for about a 20-minute test using the NVENC encoder, because this does have a 1660 Ti in it. Streamed it to YouTube. In League of Legends, I got 180 frames per second. I had 0 dropped frames to YouTube streaming. There was hardly any impact whatsoever. It looked awesome. It looked fantastic. There was no issues. And so you can actually, if you wanted to, you could stream esports on this laptop if you wanted to. If you had an external monitor and that's how you wanted to, you know, view your chat and everything, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube, you can actually stream on this. You can stream esports on this using the NVENC encoder. So that's really cool. I mean, you can get all that power in this laptop. Okay, so the construction of the laptop. Like I said earlier, it's polymer. There is a little bit of flex in the screen. The keyboard is it's a very nice typing experience. It's not bad. They're very clicky. I do believe it is mechanical, but it's a very nice typing experience. The keyboard features a 4-zone RGB backlit keyboard, so it is 4 zones, meaning not every single key is changeable. You can only address 4 zones, and those zones are chosen within the Omen software. And so let's talk about the Omen software a little bit. The Omen software that comes with it, it allows you to change the colors of the 4 zones, so you can change them and apply them on the fly. You can also set the performance, whether you want it to be like light, casual, or performance mode, and this is going to change the power limits and, you know, how much power is going to everything and how far it's going to push itself. It's also going to raise the temperatures. You can also view your temperatures and everything, so you can look and see how hot the GPU is, the CPU is. You can set your fan speed to auto, which is very loud. Maybe not very, but it's pretty loud. Here's a clip of that. Okay, and so you can see it's pretty loud. You can, like I said, view everything in there. You can make changes. There's some things you can do with your games. You can look at your network. You can analyze the network, your lighting. So there's just it's kind of like the Alienware utility, except it's for Omen, and it seems to work just fine, which is great. And so you can address the keys, like I said, 4-zone. And so what I found, and you'll probably see in the video, is that it's not the brightest. However, when you put it on the white setting, it's almost like it just has a regular backlight, and that's how I use it. The colors, they can seem a little bit dull. They're not super bright, but you can change them inside the software, and personalize it a little bit. And the speakers are great on it. The speakers are wonderful to use for what they are. It's a very good sounding laptop, which is nice to have. So, conclusion time. Should you buy the Omen 15 with the Ryzen 7 4800H? Yes. If you're in the market for a laptop that is $1,250 and you're wanting something that's very powerful, then yes, you should definitely buy this. It's got great construction. It's the thermal limits, or the thermals, are awesome. They're better than any Dell or Alienware that I've ever owned for double the money. The thermals are great on it. The performance is exceptional. You should definitely pick this up. One caveat though, this is actually the second one. The first one that I had, the keyboard did not work. Now, I don't know if that's because of HP or if it was because of the fact that whenever I received it from UPS, it was beat all to pieces. The box was. So, never know. But however, I was able to exchange it and get this one. So there is that. Wanted to let you know. However, I don't really think that this laptop knows what it is. And what I mean by that is it's kind of like a dual personality crisis. The 4800H in here is a powerhouse of a CPU. I mean, it beats desktop processors out. I mean, new desktop processors. It smokes them when it comes to professional workloads or content creation. It's extremely powerful. However, it's only got a 1660 Ti for the graphics. And that could have been, in my opinion, better matched with something like a 2060 or a 2070. And the performance would have been phenomenal for a gaming laptop. And of course, that would have taken the price up versus having a 1660 Ti. However, this CPU is not constrained in any way, and so that's what I mean by it. It doesn't really know what it is, because it could be a better gaming laptop with having a better graphics card, but it's not really a workstation laptop or a professional content creation laptop, or it'd have maybe a little bit of a better screen. Instead of 144 hertz, it'd have like a 2K or 4K screen on it with 10% RGB scale or whatever. However, it doesn't have those things. And so, like I said, it's kind of like a dual personality crisis. You can do multiple things on this. If you want to game, you can game. If you want to stream, you can stream. If you want to do professional content creation or professional workloads, you can do it all day. This thing has that. And so it's like a jack of all trades. However, it doesn't really excel at the gaming part, which is fine. That might not be who HP was pointing this out. Maybe they wanted people who could do multiple different things on it, which is a great idea. And so what I have to say about this laptop is it's also sleek. I mean, it looks good. And so this thing is boardroom or game room ready. And what I mean by that is you can take it into the boardroom, put it on the low power mode, and it's going to be slick. It's not going to look very gamer-esque. It's not going to look like you're trying to rock 27 different colors of RGB, and it's like, super pimped out with flares and racing stripes. It looks professional. It's something you can get away with in a boardroom. And it's also game room ready, meaning it'll play games and it'll do it very efficiently and effectively. And so that's what this is, boardroom or game room ready. And that's how I want to look at it. You can do multiple things with this. You could even use it as a desktop replacement. It has that much power. And so, if you were in the market for something like this in this price range, do not pass up the HP Omen 15 with a Ryzen processor. You will not be disappointed. It is a fantastic machine. It looks slick. It's top notch. So HP in my book has been killing it. I got the Omen 27i monitor. Love it. It's a fantastic monitor. It's got the new Omen 15 here. Fantastic. I would love to check out one of the desktops. HP, hit me up. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Go out, buy this. You won't be disappointed. And if you want to see more reviews like this, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video, what you think about the laptop. I love hearing from you and I love replying to you. Y'all stay safe out there. See ya.